Thinking about moving to beautiful Henderson, Nevada? Well, it is the second largest city in all of Nevada and is constantly being ranked by many national publications as one of the best places to live, one of the safest places to live. But what does it cost to live here? We're going to explore that in this video coming right up. Hi, I'm Adam Hopkins and welcome to Living in Las Vegas. On this channel, we cover what it's like to live in Las Vegas and its surrounding communities like Henderson, Sumerlin, Centennial, Mountain's Edge. We got all the greatest communities and neighborhoods that we explore here. So if that's of interest to you, be sure to subscribe, hit that little bell so you're notified every time we drop a new video. And if you find this video helpful, give us a little thumbs up. I am a local real estate agent and I absolutely love helping people relocate, making Vegas area their new home. If I seem like the right agent for you, please reach out to me. My information is below and I would love to have a conversation. Let's talk housing, since I am a real estate agent and it's probably your biggest monthly expense. Housing is higher here in Henderson. The median home price is $468,888. That's 27% higher than the national median average and 15% higher than the greater Las Vegas median average, which is $405,000. It does have lower property taxes than the rest of the valley, so you do have a little bit of savings that kind of offsets that, and it is a premier area. It is less expensive than Sumerlin, which does have the highest median home price in the valley. A few years back, I started a Facebook group, which has become one of the largest Facebook groups, called the Vegas Report. And in this group, we've asked them about their living expenses. One of the biggest complaint about items was auto insurance, and for good reason. It's 29.2% higher than the national average. Now, Henderson is a little bit cheaper than Las Vegas, which is great. I've saved about 10 to 15% when I moved from a Las Vegas zip code to a Henderson zip code. So it'll depend on which zip code you're moving into, but the average premium for the year in Henderson is $1,840, which works out to about $154 per month. If you're moving from Southern California to Nevada, which 30% of the people moving here are, your insurance is about $21 more expensive in Southern California than here. So depending on which zip code, you might save a little bit. If you're moving from a smaller town, obviously you're going to take a bigger hit on insurance. The next item that is very much complained about is the registration. It's going to be a progressive registration fee. If you just bought a $100,000 Mercedes Benz, you're going to probably pay over $1,000 for your registration fee. If you have a little bit of an older car, it's going to be a significantly less fee for your registration. I've paid as low as $40 for a registration, and I've paid as much as $800 for a car I've registered. It is based on your MSRP when you bought the car, and then it drops down each year as you own the vehicle. So you got to keep that in mind. And this is a city where not having a vehicle is really not an option. We don't have a great public transportation system. So let's get down to brass taxes. The good thing about living here in Henderson, Nevada is that you do not have state income taxes. Woohoo! Yay! It's a huge savings, especially when you compare some other states. And here's another great thing about living in Nevada is it takes a super majority to be able to increase taxes. When has the R's and the D's ever agreed on much? It makes it significantly more difficult to raise the taxes. Not that it might not happen. At least it's more difficult for the taxes to be raised here in Nevada, and I like that aspect too. Let's compare what some of the state income taxes are around us. You might be considering Utah or Arizona, and you might be moving from California. So let's take a look at those three states. California is, of course, the highest of these states. It is a progressive tax, with most people coming in between 8 and 12.3%, which is a significant amount of somebody's paycheck every single freaking year. Now, if we compare Arizona and Utah, theirs is actually pretty good in all things considered. Utah has a flat state income tax of 4.9%, which isn't as bad as many other states. Let's take a look at Arizona. They have a 4-tier bracket system, with the average probably paying about 4.17%. It's a huge savings to live here in Nevada when you don't have to pay any state income tax. Now, we do have a sales tax, and it's pretty competitive overall as well. Your sales tax when living living in Henderson, Nevada is going to be 8.38%, which is pretty comparable or favorable compared to some of the other states. Let's take a look again. If you're living in LA, you're going to be paying 9.5% for sales tax, and if you're living in Phoenix, it's going to be 8.6%. In Utah, it's a little better at 6.85%. That gives you some ideas. Overall, we're very competitive when it comes to the cost of running the state, and we hope it continues that way. And on our sales tax, we do not tax groceries or services, and your cost of living is lower as a result. The cost of gas has been on the rise since the beginning of this year, and Henderson's no different. At the time of making this video, the regular unleaded price for gas is $3.49. Now, if you compare that to Arizona or Utah, that's very comparable. Whereas if you're moving in from California, the current average price in Southern California is $4.38 a gallon. I was just out in California, and it sure cost me a lot more money to drive around out there than it does here. Okay, you got to the end of this video, and you probably noticed that there was nothing on utilities. Well, I noticed that too when I was editing, and I wondered where that segment went that I recorded, but I will do it again now. We are one of the lowest mountain states. The utilities for electricity, which you would expect to be very high, which is just over $111. That's 11.6% lower than the mountain states, and it's 53.8% lower than California, and we're 21.4% lower than the rest of the United States. Let's go over quickly the other bills. You're going to spend about $45 for gas and $70 a month for water and sewage, and about $80, maybe $100 for internet. I spend about $100 to get the Gigablast. That's what I'm spending. What are you spending for your internet? Post that below, or any of your utilities. I'd love to hear from you on that. But you should expect to spend about $380 a month for total utilities. The national average is about $400 a month. So there you have it. And now, back to your regularly scheduled program. And the last thing we're going to touch on are groceries. The cost of groceries here are only about 4% higher than the national average, so pretty much what you're paying wherever you're at is going to be probably what you're paying here. If your state does have a sales tax on groceries, we do not, and we're about average for the valley. Some areas are a little more, a little less. For example, Sumerlin is about 8% above the national average. We have some amazing places to shop at. We have 2 Costco's, we have a Winco, we have a lot of other grocery stores like Smith's. We have Whole Foods, we have Trader Joe's, we have Natural Grocers, a lot of great places, and we got great shopping no matter what you're looking for. You won't be disappointed with Henderson for the shopping. So hopefully this video was helpful. If it was, will you give me a little thumbs up? Just give me a little click there. If I seem like the right agent, I would love to apply for the job. Let's go shopping and looking for homes. Let's go. Until then, check out some of my other videos. If you haven't, be sure to subscribe and hit that bell so you're notified every time we drop a new video, and I'll catch you later.